viewers at home, this is a triple round robin in which after the 2 rounds have been completed, they will still be competing for a third round, which only the top 6 would be competing against each other, and the bottom 7 against each other for placing. But all of the scores, all of the points will carry over. So that means that even though they're not going to play with the full team on the third round, it's still the same thing. The points, the goal advantage, everything will have to stick.
So it's all factored in.
Yes, it will factor in. So right now we are just waiting for things to settle down, to get ready, because this might still have a few surprises. If the viewers at home were watching the earlier games, we almost saw an upset in when One Taguig almost didn't make the cut against Mendiola, scoring that late penalty courtesy of Patrick Reichelt because of a foul. And that was quite an intense game right there. There was
Definitely.
you could say that there has been a lot of action, especially in the dying minutes of the game. So that being said, I am really hoping that this game would live up to that same level as well, because football is a good sport like that. The ball is round. It can...
Anything is unexpected,
Yes.
unpredictable. Anything can happen in the court.
So we are just waiting for them to get this rolling here. Well, we will be right back with you folks for the match proceedings. So we are just going to take a quick 30-second break. We'll be getting everything sorted out for you. Don't go away.
And now, the moment we've all been waiting for. Let us welcome the teams of Stallion Laguna Football Club and Tuloy Football Club.
On your screens now is the lineup for Stallion Laguna FC. And one of the important changes that we've noticed is that they are going with a 4-5-1 formation as opposed to their usual 4-3-3. Perhaps more emphasis in the midfield right now, as, like you said, when it comes to scoring opportunities, they really have to have the avenues, the space, the players right in the middle to make that happen. What do you think about that kind of strategy with them?
It looks like they're more focused on defensive midfielding on their defenses. And they only have 2 strikers up front, no?
Yes.
Looking into this.
Well, just on your screens is our match officials. John Pineda, assisted by Chris Mark Nagnola and Brian Buergo. Fourth official is Raymart De Los Santos. Our referee assessor is Alan Martinez with our match commissioner, Ira Ilan. On your screens now, Tuloy FC. So this team is pretty much the same lineup, pretty much the same formation. They don't appear to have made any changes. But again, like what we've said, they have to make changes, but at the same time, they also stick to the principle that they have. And I think that's pretty much what their passion could be, their discussion.
Yeah, definitely. But they do need to evolve from futsal going into football talaga.
And that's a very interesting concept, evolving from futsal to football, because
Yes.
the ball is different, the size of the field is different, the
Yes.
tendency to keep the ball on the ground is also different.
Mhm,
But
definitely.
how do you think it would translate into the pitch?
So from previous matches, they kept the ball low. They've been only passing it for low passes, short passes. But let's see if there's anything different from what their strategy is.
Well, we are just waiting for the whistle here for kickoff. We have Tuloy in the blue kicking us off right now in the middle of the field. And they will be going up against Stallion Laguna in their pink home shirts.
Yes.
A little bit of tension in the air as we just wait for the seconds here. And we will be kicking off just a moment.
Yep. They're still waiting for that signal.
And we have kickoff here. Tuloy will be playing from right to left, and Stallion Laguna in left to right in the pink. Looks like they have the ball right now. South trying to make that pass. Intercepted well by Stallion Laguna. It looks like a very
Early aggression.
yeah, and early free kick opportunity right there.
But Stallion, they're really known for their aggressive play, no? They're more on their contact, no?
Not really just with the contact, but at the same time, they love to press high. They love to just keep the ball going forward. They don't want to give you a rest, just like this opportunity right here. Opportunity for a cross,
Nice
and
cross.
that was as easy as that. Well,
Not even 1 minute in the game. It's already...
that was Galya Trujillo putting in an assist for Kenneth James Pride, which is on your screen. Let's have a look at that. You can see on that lower side of your screen, they just let Galiana open there.
Definitely, that precision in that pass. You see it. It just went and slid through his foot.
And now they kick off again. This is definitely not the position that Tuloy wants to do if they want to score an upset tonight. But Stallion just doing the job, doing their duty in order to get the full 3. Here it goes now again.
Let's see how Tuloy FC responds to that.
Hopefully in a good manner here. But looks like Stallion has another opportunity here. Vasquez looking for a way through. Ooh, feints and moves over into the box. Crosses into it.
Okay, that was cleared. But the pressure is still on.
Ooh.
That was a nice kick.
Looks like there will be...
Goal for Stallion Laguna, with player number 45, Kevin Benamopota.
That was your confirmation of the goal. Now we are still moving in. Opportunity on the left side for Tuloy. Looking for that pass out. Able to get away from his man, but not able to get into proper space. Tries for a cross. Well blocked by the defender, and the ball goes out for a throw.
Unable to connect.
Another throw in for Tuloy. Still trying to find their way through proper positioning here, but the touch was really poor, and it just goes back to the other side. now just moving that ball with... Now that we are 1 goal up, they are no longer in that much of a hurry, but they certainly want to improve their position.
Every point counts.
But Macmillan now finds a teammate, goes for that long pass, not able to make it to Vasquez, but they still recover. Galeana with a nice through ball here, and looks like it will be another one. In the span of 3 minutes, we now have 2 different goal scorers here.
They are keeping the pressure on. If nothing changes from the strategy from Tuloy FC at this point, we are just looking at a bunch of free goals.
Well, that was Terrence doing the needful, or Terrence Smith doing the needful to just get that ball away from the reach of the keeper. And still, the mountain to climb has just gone a little bit higher, but there could be a good opportunity here. Saud trying to move it. He's got space, but it was well tackled there. And the ball goes back to the pink shirts. Ooh, Tuloy almost had an opportunity there to counter, but unfortunate. Still, they win the free kick. Quickly taken. Moves over to the left side.
That is some nice defense.
Yes, and a very stable defense from the back line of Stallion Laguna. It looks like there will be a throw in. Throw in. Still, Stallion just imposing their authority with the movement through midfield, unbothered. Tuloy just backing off here and just giving them a lot of space in that midfield.
They are giving them a lot of room. Stallion is just passing the ball around.
Nico Macmillan, it's over to his teammate Placito. Placito finds somebody in the middle, and that's a good through ball here. Cross could ensue. Opportunity for another shot. Placito was not in the best place to take that shot, and the clearance from Tuloy. It looks like they have a throw in as well. They want to take it quickly, but poor touch.
Poor touch pass.
Yes, very poor touch there coming from Alike, who we know has also been on a scoring spree for Tuloy in some of the games. Placito trying to look for his teammate here. Nice interception by Tuloy. Now, could they have an opportunity to counter? They just need to make the passes stick.
Tuloy is being pressured right now. Stallion is really pushing them through the box.
And that's what we're talking about when it comes to the physicality of Stallion. They're not shy of being that high. And look at that result. Again, a brace for Terrence Smith. What an opportune goal that was. He was just left alone in his lonesome there. Let's have a quick look at it again. Whoa. That was an unfortunate clearance there. Capistrano could not get his boot through.
Goal for Stallion Laguna by player number 45, Kevin Mokota.
It goes. Tuloy just wants to get this ball back. Alike, good way to keep it in play. Saud on the left, trying to roll through his teammate. Well intercepted by the defense. Now Stallion Laguna wants to just get it through quickly, but that was a good tackle there on Nico Macmillan. Again, Alike just being the aggressor for this Tuloy side.
The defenders of Stallion are really, really quick.
And sometimes when you do tend to use a lot of your sprinting speed and your stamina up front, sometimes it leaves an opening right at the end of the game. But that's where Stallion Laguna is a bit different when it comes to their physicality.
And we're still looking for it from the defense from Tuloy and also their striking.
Control. Stallion Laguna able to keep it on their side. Macmillan. Placito with a long pass. but he could not connect with Terrence Smith, and it just goes into the hands of Michael Antilo Jr. Now Tuloy wants to keep it going. Over to the right side. Well defended and not an avenue of attack. They go back to their back line. Miscued pass there, pressured to make a mistake. John Grizola just goes out for a throw. Headed away. Still Tuloy trying to get their defensive act together. And again, another opportunity to move forward with Stallion in a dangerous spot. Galiana! And a third goal! This is turning into a blowout. And Galiana just being given a lot of space, a lot of opportunity. He even had a lot of time to just pick his spot. Let's have a look at that again.
He's really good when it comes to deciding when he's going to be passing or he's going to be striking.
And
that's a really good opportunity for Stallion.
Positioning is really key in that opportunity right there. And you can see that he was just waiting at the blank spaces while nobody was going for him. Nobody wanted to get in his way or make it difficult. And when you're defending, your objective is to make it difficult for them, even if you're not able to stop them 100%.
Yes, and that pretty much really looked easy.
Well, here comes an opportunity for Tuloy, and that was their closest opportunity yet from Marcos Toves, who is playing in a very high position now, considering that his natural position is a defender.
Tuloy is struggling to get it in the box to actually do that play.
Well, in that kind of situation, you would not only need to have somebody who can make the pass, but players available as well. And as you could see, nobody was available to receive that. McMillan. Sito taken down. Alike loses the ball. Trying to thread that needle to his teammate Smith, but the ball just gets into the way of a defender. They still have it though. Tuloy just wants to clear it. Still sticking to their philosophy of keeping that ball on the ground. Long pass. Defender intercepts. Good reading of the game from Smith.
If Tuloy manages to adjust into the actual, not just the futsal way of playing, they will be able to get the score. But it looks like they're really compressed in the mid zone.
I might need to correct myself here. The goal scorer, the last two goal scorers for Stallion was not Terrence Smith, but Ibini Mokota, number 45. And now it just goes, the pressure just keeps on stacking up for Tuloy right now, who just can't seem to find a footing, and they've not even been able to get the ball up to the final attacking third as much.
Yeah, it's probably because of they're used to the futsal. They're still looking into that adjustment.
Looking for a long pass there. Just shifts it sideways. Stallion still keeping it moving. Midfield they go. And they are still not being challenged by Tuloy. It's now with McMillan, who is in an advanced position. Opportunity here to make a long pass. Finds Vasquez. Lasito back to Vasquez again. Puts it in the middle for Galiana. Well intercepted by Tuloy.
Nice interception by Tuloy FC. Now, let's see if they can pressure Stallion moving forward. It kind of looks like they're still in a compressed space. There's not enough people in front.
Well, that is one of the challenges that they have, to just get the positioning right. Ooh, that is
He
a
left
good
that
pass.
alone.
For that
Great
open
pass.
man.
Nice clearance from that, from Tuloy FC.
Good interception by the skipper. Now Tuloy wants to just keep it moving forward. They have the numbers up front. They just need a good pass into the final attacking third. Well intercepted by the defense. Kenneth James Pride with a good reading. And now Stallion is away, but opting to wait for the rest of the team, and still not receiving a lot of high pressure coming from Tuloy. Galiana with the aggression there. And Tuloy manages to keep that ball in front of them and moving it away from their own half. Ooh, that was a good pass right there. Could be an opportunity for Diaz. Diaz puts into Toves. And Toves was taken down. And the referee.
Inside the box. Are we looking at the penalty? It's
Yes,
a yellow card.
Yellow card for that play here. Let's have a look at that again. Little bit of physical contact there coming from the number 26, Kenneth James Pride. And then he was sandwiched in between. So Toves really just had to keep going straight for that ball. But looks like Toves might have taken a hard knock from the defender sandwich. Looks like we have the referee, Mick John Pineda, just looking over. And Toves is one of their more recent signings, and one of the rare instances that they have signed a foreign player into Tuloy. "15 minutes in, 4 goals down already." What do you think should be the changes here, if there was anything that they can adjust for Tuloy to at least get themselves back into this?
When it comes to Tuloy FC, the only thing that I'm looking into this is they're not really focused on running. So they're compressed in the middle space, and there's not much people around when it comes to striking. So if they can run faster going into the other side, then there's probably going to be some changes. But for now, if they are still defending or focused and compressed at the midfield, we're not going to see any changes whatsoever as of the moment.
Well, looks like it will be Cyril Saut here who put the ball into the spot. He is the designated penalty taker. It will be him against Benoit Bujon, the number 16 goalkeeper from Stallion. Opportunity to pull one back. Takes it, and well read, sends the keeper the wrong way.
Saud showing his scoring capabilities here.
And you really have to be confident when you take penalties. It might be simple to the eyes of a regular viewer, but penalty takes a lot of skill. It takes a lot of confidence in your ability to just put it within the box. Take it a little bit too slow and the keeper will read it. But if you have that confidence in your eyes, you could just tell the keeper that you're going to shoot it that way and it goes the other.
Yeah. That was a good decision of where he put that.
Well, Stallion has conceded 1 goal, scored 4. It is still an uphill climb for the Tuloy faithful here. Stallion only needs to keep the pressure going and to manage the aggression of his team. Currently listed as the head coach of Stallion Laguna for tonight is Clinton McDaniel. Coach Ernie Nieras is not the main man for this evening. Tuloy just trying to get that ball anywhere, as long as it's not near the box.
There's still a lot of pressure.
Oh, from the looks of it, mukhang bumibuelo to si Macmillan. He's aiming for a long throw.
He's throwing it inside the box.
Ooh! That was a spectacular diving save there coming from Michael Antilo Jr. And you could see the trajectory of that ball. There was a lot of power behind it.
Yeah, a lot of power, and that was really a good save from the goalkeeper.
So now they have to defend a corner. And still an opportunity to put the ball up high. There it goes now. Delivery. They are trying to keep it on the ground. They are not able to turn and shoot, but they can try again. Stallion. Pasito couldn't find a teammate. Macmillan finds someone, but it's straight into the hands of Antilo again.
Good save from Antilo. Now let's see if they can push it through. That was good defense from Stallion FC.
And now they are trying to get it to move forward again. Stallion is looking for a way to push it forward. And this time Tuloy is trying now their hardest to press a little bit higher up the pitch and just give Stallion a little bit of difficulty when it comes to navigating through the field. They still do though. Stallion keeps moving through the midfield. Left side, Galeana to Placito. Trying to control, he does. They reset a little bit there, Stallion. Just waiting for that space to open up. Long pass, trying to look for Makuta. Successful here, but they still have the ball, and they might find Macmillan in a good space on the right side. That cross from him, though, equates to nothing, and Tuloy could be on a counter. Good pass to South. And that was a wasted opportunity right there. You saw South, he was in a good position. He was onside. He just needed a nicely weighted pass to get that ball through. Stallion starts again. Stallion now looking for a teammate above. Finds Placito. Placito shifting the direction to the opposite flank. Can't find his teammate. Melguira was there. Still, Stallion gets the recover, and they have a chance to keep it going forward. Kuta. Placito is next to him, opts to go right the middle, intercepted by Tuloy, and now they might have another chance. No, another reset coming from Stallion.
This is really good strategy from Stallion FC, the way that they reset the ball so that they can find better opportunities to score.
And it's not really more of rushing things, because if you waste your stamina and the possession and just trying to nail it and nail it and nail it, you are bound to make more mistakes. Placito to Macmillan. Macmillan given a lot of space. He wants to put it into the box. It had to take 4 defenders to get the ball off of him. Now Tuloy just wants to get it away. And they only got it over the touchline, and a throw coming for Stallion. Another chance for a long throw. Look who's holding the ball again. Oh, he's not going to go for that this time around.
Is he going in for a cross? No, he's running straight, and it was intercepted.
are still trying though. Stallion through Macmillan on that right side.
Again on that reset, looking for the right pass for Stallion FC, going into the box and straight to the hands of Antilio.
That would be an opportunity gone begging here, but they have the keeper on the ground. Michael Antilio Jr. is on the ground right now. It looks like Mick John Pineda has assessed and hasn't really called for medical attention. Must have gotten a signal from him that he is good. He just needs a quick moment to gather himself. But let's have a quick look at this movement right here. Lovely pass to Galeana. And getting scooped up. So that's the movement there leading to Michael Antilio Jr.'s impact.
He received a knee from the left side.
Throw for Tuloy.
Are we seeing something different?
Well, they are looking to just get that over. Stallion just not really finding that space on that side because they want to go to the opposite flank. And it is a good cross coming from Vasquez, but it was just too predictable for Michael Antilio. Ooh, that is a poor pass coming from John Grizola. Placito has it now. Placito with space and tries to pass it in, but that was a well block.
Passing it to the wing, looking for the opportunity inside the box.
And that was such a good opportunity to take a strike, but Trujillo was not in the best position to take that. But still, Stallion persists with this. Now they have a chance. Ooh, well read by Tuloy. And now they want to do a quick counter here. Ooh, looks like it favored Tuloy, that unfortunate touch. And now they still have the ball with Nunez. Shifting over to Diaz on the right. Nobody there. Too much to bother him. And now back to Nunez.
There looks to be a lot of changes. They're spreading out. Now they're almost in the box.
And that's a good chance for Tuloy there to just keep it going. Ooh, that was a good 50-50 challenge won by Stallion. And Koichi Belgira just trying to hold off. And looks like he loses the ball, and Tuloy is just determined to do something with this string of possession. Saud trying to lay it off.
That was a nice interception from Stallion.
But also, Halike just couldn't do enough to get that ball. He was in the closest of spaces. You're right, the interception came exactly when it was needed. Let's have a look at that again. Minaudlot. Oh, there it goes. Right place and right time for Kenneth James Pride to be right between him, or right between the goal and Halike. But they do concede a corner, which is the first corner for Tuloy.
We're finally seeing a lot of adjustments for Tuloy FC. They're going in.
That's Nunez there with the number 10. Looking for a teammate down the middle, finds Saud. Saud can't do it himself, so he has to go and shift to the other side. They are being pressured here, and Tuloy is being forced to retreat, and now they've lost possession. Stallion now could have a chance while Tuloy is still retreating. Ooh, that was an unfortunate pass trying to look for Mokuda. And now Tuloy wants it. There's a chance here. But it was called offside. The flag went up. Wow, that was one of those close opportunities there. You thought that Tuloy was going to make the most of the possession when they had the ball on that final attacking third.
Yes, exactly. It looks like they're now putting pressure on Stallion FC. Going back to the keeper now. There are a lot of changes.
And they really haven't made any substitutions. They may have just made some adjustments to their aggression, which, you're right, they have pushed a lot more people forward now as opposed to earlier where they were parang nagkakamping sa kabilang kampo.
Yes, they were heavily focused on midfield.
Ooh! And just like that, they have turned the table right around. Tuloy has just been breached once again by Stallion. Goal number 5, and Trujillo Galiana adding to his tally here. Let's look at how effective this was coming from Mokuta.
That was almost the save from Antilio.
Stallion Laguna.
Really making him work
By player
hard
number
to
11,
save that goal.
JD Galiana
Galiana just
Trujillo.
being put in a space here where I think it really was beyond the reach of Antilio, even if Antilio was able to anticipate that shot. It was just too difficult there. Tuloy still not running out of hope. They are still pushing people forward here. This is just 30 minutes into the first half. And we are seeing a scoreline 5-1 in favor of Stallions. And now they want to add up to that tally again. Losing the ball through midfield. Tuloy wants to keep it going again.
We're seeing more effort right now from Tuloy FC. Going back to the keeper.
And then they just lose it right there. Good movement coming from them. Vasquez lays it off. That's a good movement on the left flank. Can a cross come in? No, he wants to take it to the middle himself. And only finds Michael Antilio Jr. to block that away. Now they want to do things quickly here. Tuloy with that long pass on the ground. Managed to keep possession. Sliding tackle coming from Farias. And a foul was given in favor of Tuloy.
Really good challenge from Stallion FC there.
Yes, Farias just went in for that sliding tackle.
Are we seeing something different from Tuloy FC?
And they go here. They are still keeping that ball. They are not clearing it and hoofing it nilly-willy. But it's always that final pass right down the, what you call the final attacking third that they can't seem to find. The pressure right in midfield. Nunez now finds a teammate down the right flank, but dispossessed with 2 defenders marking the man. And now they just reset. Terrence Smith keeping that ball moving now down midfield. Placito, good threaded pass here, but the movement was just too soon. Unfortunate for Mokuda. Jacques Ebini Mokuda called offside.
Another opportunity for Tuloy FC with their possession. Going back to Antilio Jr. Passing to the midfield. Intercepted by Stallion FC. Now they're putting back the pressure on.
That's Trujillo right there. Can't find a passing lane to get it through the final third. Goes to Placito, and Placito finds McMillan on that right side, but well tracked by the defense. It was shuttered away by John Crizola.
Seeing them more aggressive on the defense. Tuloy FC.
Well, they have another opportunity to just put that ball into a good spot through this corner. We have Eliana Trujillo again with the accurate placing to just pick a spot and get somebody to take a snack at goal. Just nice and low, and it was well read within the territory of Tuloy. Still trying to get it through. Tuloy just wants to get possession back. Macmillan a bit aggressive, but legal, says the referee. Crosses it in. Placito just needs to get away from his man. Tries for a shot. Too many blue shirts in the way, but it's still not over. And Pride, who was in the box, could not make anything out of that. At marami nga pa nanonood pa sa iba't ibang anggulo dito sa ating Philippines Football League. Opportunity to throw. Well placed and keeping that ball.
That was a nice pass, but still received, well received by Michael Antilio Jr.
That was a beautifully weighted pass there, but Antilio just reacting so quick. Now Tuloy just wants to get it back again. Well read that pass, and now Stallion might have another chance. Good long pass. No, couldn't find Trujillo with that one. Straight to Antilio it goes. Trying to get it over. Saud couldn't find it. Now Stallion just wants it back. Vasquez moving it forward, finds Placito. Placito right back to Vasquez with some space. Now just needs to get over the one man that's guarding him. Placito again, right at the edge of the box. Trying to lay it into the box here. It was a good pass to Vasquez, good reading, but well read as well by the defense to clear it out. And Tuloy just wants to restart quickly, but they cannot find that avenue to keep moving up.
We are seeing a big shift in their strategy, not leaving any open man. Tuloy FC.
Looks like they might have an opportunity now to move it forward. Ooh, that was a miscued pass, trying to look for Halike.
But a good interception and going back to Tuloy FC's possession. Are we looking at a goal here?
Not at the moment, but we might have. Good passage of play, turnover, good interception, and player has been taken to ground, and Tuloy wins a free kick. So, in the last 10 minutes, what's your current assessment of the game?
I can see a lot of changes with Tuloy FC's strategy here. They're now giving big spaces to each other, making sure that they're covering more ground as opposed to what their strategy was earlier. And now we're seeing them pressuring Stallion FC a little bit more than they did in the first few minutes of the game.
Yeah, and that's one of the noticeable things as well. They are now starting to press high, and that might be giving Stallion a little bit more difficulty here in just getting that ball to where they need to. However, it's always about the quality as well of each player to find that gap, and now Stallion wants to capitalize on that, trying to get a good through pass to the number 45, and Bine Mukota could not get to that ball quick enough. That was a good interception coming from the defense, and now Tuloy wants to start over. For that pass, Cyril Saud with an open space, just needs to make a run for it. Against one. A chance! And that, I think, was the first actual save coming from the goalkeeper, from Benoit Bouillon.
That was a really good attempt from Cyril Saud.
Well, that was certainly one of the rare instances. Here they go again. Ooh, and that one just out of nowhere there from the distance. Ebini Mokota finally finds the back of the net a third time.
That's going to be a hat trick for him, huh?
Yes, it looks like there was a lot of opportunity there for them to just block it. No, looks like there was really not much they could do there. Defense was caught off guard, and when Mokuta found that ball, all he had to do was make sure it was accurate. Didn't even need power for it.
That is the disadvantage of the strategy that they are now moving forward with. It's more like they have their players in front and leave the defense wide open for Tuloy FC. Stallion FC with the possession.
They just want to keep it going here. Again, looking for some space right down that middle, and they have so far been exploiting a lot of the spaces. They've already had successful attacks coming from the left and the middle. So far, so good. And there, player goes down for Tuloy, but the referee hasn't blown his whistle, is not interested, and the ball just rolls back to Stallion's way. Hold on, John Pineda has halted it temporarily. I think that was a little bit too physical coming from Macmillan, but nothing untoward, according to the ref. Continues with a drop ball because it was not a free kick or a foul there.
Good chance to reset for Stallion FC.
That was Farias trying to find a way through.
Finding that opportunity, passing the ball around with that wide open space.
It's as if Tuloy has cowered back into their shell again. Now Stallion through Placito wants to get that moving. Kuta finds Macmillan.
Macmillan trying to get it inside.
Placito now gets it. Placito with a cross. Nice and low, but well read as well. And now they want to go on a counter. Cyril out, the number 7 for Tuloy, making a run for it with space. Opts to shift the play to the opposite side. And they still have a few runners there. Finds Diaz. Diaz was halted there. Goes back to Capistrano.
Stallion FC not giving them that much of a space to reset.
And that's the whole thing. It's blocking the passing lanes. That pretty much disables a lot of things for your opponent when you're disabling or not giving them a lot of room to move. Well, that would be a foul called against Stallion. Nunez wants to take that ball and take it quickly. Not the opportunity to do so, but they continue on the play. Tuloy now on the left with Grizola. Long pass to Tovez, but well cleared by his contemporary number 42, Terrence Smith. Still an opportunity because they still keep possession, Tuloy. Diaz now on the left. Grizola back to Capistrano, or rather Halike, who loses the ball.
Tuloy FC still in possession.
Oh, that's a good interception by Trujillo. Now they want to move it again. Trying to get a long pass over to Galiana Trujillo. But that was well read by Siron South. Nunez looks up. He does find a player or two to give the pass to, but not instantly.
Back to Cyril Saud.
And well intercepted by the number 42, Terrence Smith. Belgira with some room ahead. Puts on the brakes and passes it back. Placito, the number 32, now has it. Lays it off. And it's back with Placito. Looking for his teammate, Mokuda. And again, Goal number 4 for him. Goal number 7 for Stallion Laguna. And that was without a doubt another clean one from him. Let's look at it again. Placito.
That was a good connection between
Goal
Placito
for
and
STALLION
Mokuta.
Laguna FC.
It was so
By
smooth
player number
that it just
45,
went
Kevin
in, contacting with his foot, going into the goal like that.
And again, you have to have that kind of vision, that kind of eye when you see that space up front where a player, your teammate, could make a run for.
Let's see how Tuloy FC responds to this. But they're currently under pressure, pushing it to mid. Cyril South. That was intercepted.
Farias to Belgira, and Belgira lays it off. Still good movement to just keep the ball rolling forward there. Farias again. Macmillan's making a run for it. Opts to go to the middle for Galeana. Intercepted. They want to do it quickly. Saut with some space up front. Tries to lay it up in front of his teammate there. But Toves was nowhere near that pass. Easily read by Bojong. 44 minutes and a half, less than a minute remaining in the first half, then stoppage time. So far, Stallion Laguna has stuck to their own football as they have been doing the job. They have given the due respect that they want to give to Tuloy by not holding back. And so far, it has given them a demanding lead. What can you say of Stallion's performance so far?
We can see a great consistency with regards to their strategy. Having Placito with that ball in the midfield, passing it into the box. Really good tandem with Mokuta.
Well, they are still not done yet. There's Mokuta with the ball, looking for that pass. Placito has it. He wants to take it on his own. Being hounded by 3, lays it off to somebody, and that somebody is Nunez, who is for the other team. Tuloy loses it in the transition. Macmillan wants it. And Macmillan almost had it, but South just had other ideas. We are in the last 2 minutes here. Well, we are just 1 minute and some change remaining in stoppage. It looks like Stallion just wants to keep upping the ante before the end of the first. Looks like a free kick foul at the edge of the box, and the referee is marking it for good measure. It takes a lot of skill to just accurately take that ball from that close spot. You have to put a spin on that ball with enough power that it would dip. So hindi lang siya yung bastang ipepuwersa mo lang. Referee just sorting out the wall.
What would be the decision from Trujillo? Is he going straight for it? Is he going to pass? Let's leave it up to his great marksmanship when it comes to passing. He went straight for the goal.
And it just goes outside of it too, wrong side of the net. And Mick John Pineda has seen enough for the first half. He has called it quits. So far, it has been a one-sided traffic. Aside from the lone consolation through a penalty for Tuloy, 7 goals has been conceded. Stallion Laguna leads by a demanding amount. We will be right back for some highlights and analysis of the first half. Don't you go away. It ends first half. Stallion Laguna FC 1, Tuloy FC 1. A very commanding lead coming from Stallion Laguna. 7 goals to the goods against Tuloy FC's 1. And it has been a show of strength, a flex of muscle. Hindi na natin alam kung anong pwedeng itawag dyan. Basta it's a goal fest. And we have 8 goals in total, most of them coming from Stallion Laguna. They have really shown their handle on the ball and the accurate passing that they have, because most of these are from open play. They were able to dissect, they were able to put apart the defense that Tuloy has put up. What is your assessment of Stallion Laguna right now, Eric?
Well, Stallion Laguna has been placing all their passes in the right place, especially with the connection between Placito and Mokuta. You can really see that there is really good connection between the two of them, especially inside the box. It's not really easy to get past a lot of defenders, especially towards that much traffic.
Well, one-sided traffic, as they say, but the Tuloy FC hasn't been hasn't really just sat in and waited for the goals to happen. We have seen that they have put up a good fight, a good effort, but so far they have fallen short on the defense. What can you say about the movement and the adjustments that they've done?
Well, with the adjustments of Tuloy FC, right now I'm really noticing them leaving their goal wide open. So when it comes to offense, they have adjusted a lot because they have been congested in the middle field earlier in the first half of the game. And what we've noticed is that they are now spreading their players outside. And that's why they have been able to do a little bit more of attempts on their end.
Speaking of attempts, the numbers are on your screen. 56-44 in possession with 15-6 for Stallion Laguna in terms of the number of shots. 12 of those on target, so that is a very high accuracy rate. But you could also say the same for the 5 shots of the 6 being on target as well for Tuloy. Corners, as you can see, in favor of Stallion, not much in that avenue. Offsides as well. There have been a few, but fouls. As we said, Stallion is a very physical team. You could see that there is a lot of it here. So right now, what's the game plan you think? Or what's the best game plan for both of these teams to get the results that they wanted? Let's start with Stallion. What do you think?
With Stallion FC, I would say that they should still stick to the same strategy that they have. Really covering a lot of ground and then passing the ball to their playmaker. Either it's Placito or it's either Trujillo. They have really, really good passes going to the cross inside the box. And they really have good connection with Mokuta, who is really inside the box more often. With Tuloy FC, what they need to do, one of the things that they need to do is more of just like Stallion FC. If you can see that they're not really covering that much ground, and then they're scattered all over the place for now. But let's see if there are more of differences when it comes to the second half.
Well, looks like Placito will be exiting this afternoon, or his evening is over, and in place would be Ricky Sendra. And also another change there, Amir Manesh coming in. I think it was Farias who came out. Some adjustments also on the Tuloy side as well, hoping to get something done. So they are just about set to get the second half rolling here. Stallion Laguna just needs to keep their foot on the pedal, or at the very least, get their defenses in their best form possible. On the other hand, Tuloy still has that tall order to fulfill. They have 6 goals to try and catch up with, which is very, very unlikely at this stage. But that's not to count them out. That was Ricky Sandra with his first few touches on the ball. Trying to keep that ball in. John Lawrence Binalong unsuccessfully at this stage.
Noticing their playmakers at Stallion FC have been subbed out. Are they looking to have them rest for now because of that big lead? Let's look into this.
Well, look, usually when a team is leading by a commanding amount of goals, they would have this opportunity to rotate players as well because they want to keep everybody in a playing or competitive fitness level. So the way to do that is through minutes on the game. And right now we have Tuloy just trying to get that ball through, but looks like referee has called out that it was not a well taken goal kick. It was retaken, and under pressure already, Stallion don't seem to be letting go of this game anytime soon. But Tuloy may have an opportunity here. They have two. They have Toves. Toves couldn't make a shot. Dispossessed just in time for Stallion. They now are making their attack here. Mari couldn't get that ball through. Sandra, one of the second half introductions. Taking it off for Macmillan on the right. Ooh, skips his defense, and he is inside the box with just a cross in the need here. He wants to take it on himself. And that was so predictable for Michael Antilo Jr.
You can see so much physicality in that. Running through all of those defenders by yourself.
And you really have to have... Ooh, that was another good one there. Great interception coming from the number 45, Mokuta. And that was in a really critical spot as well. Parang nakatulog yata saglit ang defensa ng Tuloy.
Yeah, they left him on his own, actually.
Well, an opportunity now to just lift that ball over. And Mari Manesh.
Can they convert?
Goes over, and the shot! Kenneth James Pride not making any mistakes. Finding the back of the net from point-blank range.
It kind of looked really easy for Kenneth James Pride with that kick. That pass was just good. Then it went straight to him after that traffic.
The goal mouth scramble. The ball appears to have bounced off Terrence Smith there, and Pride was just timing his run. He could have almost been offside there, but that was well timed on his part.
But do you see how he kicked that goal in between those two defenders? That wasn't an easy choice, actually. But then it just went through.
Well, Tuloy now has another opportunity to keep it going forward. Toves is asking for it. Goes to the far player instead. Still trying to get it through. Dispossessed. Tuloy couldn't take advantage of that, and now Stallion wants to do it quickly here. Mokuta pressuring Antilo there. And Tuloy wants to get it back now. On the other side, they are still keeping it within their side. Nunez. Lique. Intercepted well, and Stallion could be away. Sandra, that tall, towering figure in midfield. Finds Belgira. Back to Sandra now. Good pass into the box, but not a good position there for Manesh to control. Tuloy clears, but it only gets as far as Pride, who restarts through the keeper. Vasquez now. Stallion just really keeping the authority here and not letting Tuloy touch the ball as much.
They're not really letting Tuloy touch the ball, but I can see that there is a significant amount of effort that the Tuloy FC is giving when it comes to their offense.
Chasing after the ball.
Yeah. But it's still not the same amount of effort that I see at Stallion FC. I can see Mokuta running around so much.
Trying to get the best positions for him. And I think that's what makes him a little bit lethal. And now Stallion just wants to flex that lethality again. Here they go. Farias still keeping that ball. Good layoff there to the number 27, Vasquez, who puts it in for a cross. But the accuracy of it was not there for him.
Good position, just not a good cross. Back to Tuloy FC's possession.
And now Tuloy just wants to find a way to thread it through the midfield, through those short and low passes. But again, they have been a bit predictable there. That was a good long threaded pass there, but was also well read by Terrence Smith. Tuloy wins the ball up high. Ooh, and I think that the foul is given, but that's at the edge of the box. That was so close to being a penalty. Let's have a look at it again.
So if you can see that, it was definitely almost there.
That was so close to the edge of the box there, and maybe half a yard more, that could have been it.
And you can see a lot of commitment when it comes to, that was John Lawrence Binalong. The commitment that he had to actually go straight for it.
That was well reading from the gentleman.
Yeah. We're seeing signs of life when it comes to the offense of Tuloy FC. Let's see the decision of South, if it goes to a goal or if he's going to pass.
Now this is an opportunity. Either lift the ball up high for a teammate to head it in or maybe take a swipe. But that's a very difficult angle to take on your lonesome here. Cyril South currently holding the most goals scored with now 8 goals to his name for this season. Could it be an opportunity to make it 9? He goes for it, but it's through the wall.
Went straight to the defense, flying outside.
And it goes for a corner, but that was a good try. Sometimes you do find those little gaps in the wall if you have a lot of force in it, but it's really like a gamble. Medyo sugal ng konti yung pagdating sa kaabangan mo kung bubuka ba sila.
But being able to find that small space and kicking it there, it's actually a good take on what he did. Cyril South.
Well, here they go again. Nunez now just moving it through midfield. Goes to Halike, then goes back to his midfielders. For a pass through. Cross into the box. Ooh!
Almost it.
That was as close as you can get for an open goal there for Cyril South. But now they will have to deal with this counter-attack coming from Stallion Laguna. They have Mokuto. Mokuto on his lonesome and couldn't convert.
That was a little bit of a strong kick from Mokuta. Maybe because he was being pressured, and that's the difference of what you can see right now with the defense of Tuloy FC. There's a little bit more of a challenge from Cyrus Gamboa.
That was pretty much a good effort to just trouble Mokuta there, and that did just enough. He doesn't have to actually touch the ball, but he just needs to get him in an awkward position that he can't really effectively do what he needs to do.
Yes, and that's the difference of what we're seeing from the plays earlier from Tuloy FC. We're seeing more effort, more commitment to the defense.
Jean trying to go long. Plays it to the left side, or to the right this time. Vasquez, the opposite flank. Trying to get away from his man, he succeeds. Crosses it into the hands of Antilio, and it goes flying. Clearance from the defense, and it was right on time. But now they need to play it out, and they are opting to go with the passing game here, which is backfiring. Stallion trying to convert here. Sendra! And it bounces in. Goal number 9 from the substitute. Ricky Sandra.
That was a nice long kick going into the goal. With that distance and that accuracy.
It was not an easy shot right there, but let's have a look at it again.
For STALLION Laguna. By player number
There was
6,
a bit of traffic in there, but he was able to find the gaps. Sendra, that was a nice kick from that long distance.
And at the same time, he had to take that extra touch because the bounce was, he needed to control that ball. And with that, really puts a nail on the coffin here. And the substitution now looks like the evening of Jax Ibene Mukota is done. And in comes the number 8, Dean Mountney. And again, looks like they are really just
for STALLION Laguna.
replacing tired legs perhaps, or getting some time on in the system for the rest of the players.
Possibly, Mokuta has already given the best that he could give for the team, and he needs his well-deserved rest.
If my count is correct, he has already scored 4 goals this evening, which does put him, well, there is still a lot of catching up to do because the top scorer for Stallion Laguna right now is Finn McDaniel with 22 goals. So that is quite a tall order here for him to keep to get him moving here. And Stallion Laguna could be with an opportunity here. Ricky Sandra again. This time a lot of traffic there.
Yes, you can see the commitment from the defense right now. There had been a lot of times that they let their keeper be by himself, but now it seems that they're shifting strategy to more defense.
Either shifting strategy or, like you said, getting a little bit more committed into just making less mistakes and keeping their keeper open. But either way, it still allowed that one goal. But the Ricky Sandra goal, really out of this world there from the outside as well. So
really smooth. Hit the pole a little bit, but still went in there.
Now Tuloy has to contend with an 8-goal deficit. They want to play it through the right side. They successfully control the ball. Good job from Binalong. Tries to take a shot from outside, but it just went past, over, and too high.
That was really quick. He took it too quick. That was a really poor shot for now.
And sometimes you really have to have that extra time, but to just get to your paces, know where you are. Pero mahirap yun eh. Kung yung depensa like Stallion, who's really just pressing you. And now they're at it again. Tuloy has won the ball in a good position. Shot from distance, but still into the path of Benoit Boujon.
Still struggling to find their pacing to go inside the box and make the shot. But for now, let's see if there's going to be more of a difference, because they're already pushing through, or they're pushing Stallion FC with a little bit of pressure right now.
Another corner here to definitely add to that pressure. They already have a consolation goal under their belts, but it wouldn't hurt if they were to reduce the deficit. Taken short and quick.
Decides to pass, not cross. Resetting.
Diaz now. Ooh, trying to nail it through his teammate down the middle, unable to do so, and now they have a counter-attack to thwart, which they do. Stallion just too quick to react to that. Luckily, the defense was well placed.
You can see how much commitment Stallion FC's defense has. Not leaving a man open and pressing as much as they can.
Well, they are really going forward now. They have some numbers up front. On the left side they go with Belgira. Nice pass there to the number 77. And right into the middle of box. Sandra again! Copycat goal from his first.
It's starting to look like this is really his spot. He doesn't really want to kick it inside the box. He has this edge outside of it.
And at the same time, Ricky Sendra finds himself in the same amount of space, in the same location. They might have found a weakness to the defense. Look at the space being given to him there. Nobody close enough to bother him.
Tuloy FC was focusing on covering the goalpost as much and was not focused on covering the actual player. That was so much space for Sendra.
And this time he took it on a volley, and that was a beautiful shot. And now we have 10 goals to 1. It looks like Stallion might not be done. Nunez intercepts. They want to pull this back. Trying to wait for the rest of the team to move forward. Tuloy resets all the way back to the back line, and now it's back with Antilio, the goalkeeper. Under relentless pressure, Stallion is not afraid to send people forward after that ball. Toves couldn't find the right pass right behind him. And now Sendra has it for Stallion with a good diagonal ball to that right side. Opportunity to cross. Unfortunate for Manesh, couldn't get that ball first. And the ball just safely rolls out. It will be a throw, and the ball goes back to Stallion for this additional pressure. Macmillan, we know he has the long throws, and looks like he might be executing another one.
It's looking to be more of an issue with stamina of Tuloy FC. Because if you can see how much Stallion FC is running around to cover space, you could see a lot of difference in there.
And that's what we've also mentioned in the previous games as well, that when it comes to fitness, the match fitness levels that are being displayed by Tuloy has yet to improve. It has improved substantially over the years. But so far, they are still not at that level where kaya nilang makipagsabayan mile for mile, pace for pace with Stallion players.
Now that's something that they need to look into, giving more fitness, more stamina training to their players, just so that they can actually run through other players of the other teams.
On your screen was the introduction of Jericho Anciete and Toves, their international signing, signs off for tonight. Tuloy, with perhaps a little bit of hope, there is still a lot of time here to at least reduce the deficit. And they are trying to do so with that play, but Alike couldn't keep that ball in. It has already gone over the line before it made contact. Stallion with a throw. It looks like they are just laying it to the keeper, but a little bit of pressure coming from the Tuloy attackers.
Also giving it to their keeper, Antilio. Passing it back and forth to Antilio.
They have this objective of perhaps getting Stallion off of their defensive shape by just keeping that ball as high as they can and then trying to find an opportunity moving forward. But Stallion right now almost had it. That was a good tackle coming from the Tuloy defense. Trying to place that shot from distance, but not the Ricky Sendra levels of accuracy there. And that was a few more yards further.
That was too far off. Now let's see the restart from Tuloy FC.
Goal kick taken low, inviting a lot of pressure from the attacking team. Tuloy wants to push it forward. They have it.
Pass.
Binalong. They just need to get some space. Binalong keeps it.
But still, you can see how fast the defenders are. That was almost it.
I think that was a slight miscue between the number 7, Cyril Saot, and the newly introduced Jericho Anisiete, who was going to take that ball. But from that position, looks like Saot had the better position of just receiving it and taking it first time. Well, they still win the corner in this situation, and they can still keep the play moving on. Cyril Saot under pressure. Opts to play it back. Diaz finds an open man, but has been adjudged offside by the referee. So far, they have been giving, parang maganda na rin naman yung reaction, yung response ni Tuloy, but still something is missing. And I think you did hit the nail here with the word fitness.
Yes, definitely a little bit more stamina training for Tuloy FC could really make a big change in how they play their game.
Playing at the competitive level really drains a lot of your energy. That was a good pass right there, but Manish.
That was way far too off.
Yeah, and Manish just took it as quickly as he could. He already had the momentum of his run.
Yet again, passing it back to Antilio. Looking to find that groove.
Well, the groove is not there for him, and it goes for a free kick in favor of Tuloy, who can still keep the goal, the movement forward for them. Nunez just played back. It's with Antilio. Antilio, that was a bit of a hard touch for him, almost making a mistake. It's not over yet. Nunez couldn't control. Stallion gets it cleanly according to the referee, who wants to play it on that left side. Vasquez looking for someone to play through. Can't find the space, opts to go backwards. Farias. Sandra, poor pass from him. And they have finally stopped play after noticing that Nunez has never left the ground after that initial contact. Now referee Mick John Pineda just looking.
We're still looking into what exactly happened on that part.
On your screen earlier, I believe, was Clinton McDaniel holding the reins for Ernie Nieras. And it's getting a little bit windy here at the Rizal Memorial Stadium. So if you're not watching this game live or have not watched any of the games live, we highly recommend it.
And bring someone with you with this windy air. You're going to need someone to hug.
Ooh, that was a miscue pass. Unfortunate there, and they just give the ball back to their to the attacking team.
Not a good space for them to miscommunicate on that one.
It looks like they have a chance to go forward. There are some players up front. They just need to make this run count. Alike couldn't keep the ball, but he wins the foul instead. That was a bit too physical coming from the number 27, Rodaron Vasquez. This looks like another substitution in the offing here. Banner coming in for Farias. Stephen Banner, a defender.
Substitution
And
for
Farias, a
Stallion
midfielder.
Laguna.
Perhaps
Player 18,
they are
Captain
about to start
Barros.
easing off on
Is
the
your
pedal
please
here.
player number 55, Stephen Banner.
That was really good hustle from Tuloy FC. However, we don't see anyone he could pass through, even if he was able to make it.
Well, here they go again. Diaz, well intercepted by the substitute, Banor. Stallion. Keeping it cool and keeping it cozy in their half. Just looking for that opportunity to pass forward. Vasquez now. Ooh, that was a poor pass from him, and could be an opportunity here for Tuloy.
Good interception by Tuloy.
Well, that was Halike with a poor pass straight into the path of a defender, and Stallion could be away, but that was nice interception from the back line as well in the blue shirts.
You can see more blue shirts right now responding to that. But then, it's still not enough physicality for Stallion FC.
Well, they are trying to get that ball through. That was a good read by Banner. Could have put a good placing there for Atsiete. Now they are back on the final attacking third. Stallion Laguna couldn't capitalize, and they are back in midfield with a throw in favor of Tuloy. We are just in the last 20 minutes of regulation and a few more minutes for stoppage.
It was a free kick awarded to Tuloy FC.
That would be Capistrano taking it, doing it quickly with Diaz. Diaz passes it back to his back line. The pressure now. Mountney just trying to force the error here. Nunez tackles. All the way to Antillo, who is being pressured by Manesh. Mountney couldn't get the ball first. Tuloy wants to keep it now. Great recovery there from the number 4, Macmillan. And now Stallion just wants to put it into the box. Couldn't find anybody but a blue shirt. Binalong, pass forward. Trying to thread it to his teammate up front. Ansiete couldn't get that ball first.
You can see no commitment whatsoever with Tuloy FC. There was just one man in there.
A little bit afraid to put the number of personnel up front, relying on a lone striker from Ansiete. Well timed. Ansiete now being put under pressure, and good recovery by Denzel Vasquez. Tuloy has it back. Diaz lifts it over, trying to look for Anisiete. Anisiete passes it back. They want to keep it instead of just wasting it. Halike laying it off. That was a good attempt from Cyril Saot, sibling of Cyril Saot. And really just unfortunate that it didn't have enough power in it. He did have some time.
It's just that it was too far away from the box that it lost its power.
Well, right now they have to just keep holding on to this ball, Stallion Laguna. Victory assured at this stage. And right now just doing the needful to keep themselves in the hunt for a top 6 finish. Free kick.
They took that real quick. Now in the defensive back line of Stallion FC. The midfield.
Wow, that was a good pass there, finding space for Vasquez. Laying it off to the other Vasquez. Denzel Vasquez now. All the way back. Banner pushing it forward. That was a good pass there, but well read by the defense. Tuloy wants to get it back over to the other side quickly. Can't find the space, opts to reset. But the pressure coming in from Stallion means that they will have to play that under pressure. And a mistake has been made. Ball goes out for a throw. Stallion advantage.
Tuloy FC has been relying heavily on their backline.
Ooh, and this time around, that backline was not there. And that is the number 22, Koichi Belgira, just being given a lot of chances there to take that shot. Let's have a look at it again.
Now by the looks of it, they're just really giving it to Stallion FC at this point.
You could see the attempt. They were trying to clear that ball. 2 defenders trying to get their legs, but it just goes past through them and bounces favorably in front of Koichi Belgira.
And this is going to be the cons of actually relying on backline all the time. It seems that they're really tired and all fatigue at this point. They're not catching up to that ball.
And that's the thing, when fitness is in question and stamina is almost at a low, especially in the last 15 minutes of regulation, diyan talaga makikita yung bigla na lang nauubusan ng tangke. But here comes Stallion, who still appears to have a lot in reserve, but not the accuracy in this opportunity.
You can see too much energy in that kick. It went overboard.
Well, so far they have had a lot of chances here, Stallion, so you could just tally it in. Hindi sila manghihinayang dyan. But now they want to see an opportunity again from Tuloy. Diaz pushing it forward. Good diagonal ball and through the defense. Just needs a good pass here. He takes it on his lonesome. And Cyril South could not get it through the keeper, but they still keep possession and the pressure on. Opts to play it out. Nunez trying to lay it over for his teammate. And the chase was successful, but the space has closed up for him. Capistrano. No opportunity to cross. Back to Nunez. They are being pressed by Stallion to retreat, but they have found another space on that opposite flank. Cross to South. Not even close. And it has gone sailing over, and it will be a goal kick.
Now that's going back to the lack of commitment that you see with the offensive Tuloy. There's just too few players in that box for Cyril to have any options to pass to.
Well, right now they did just have a glance of Cyril South's lonesome attack. There were already two in assist, but it was just really unfortunate. The bounce was nowhere near it for them to rebound. Stallion now back on the attack here. Trying to lay it off nicely, but unsuccessful to Mountney. Stallion keeps the ball, however. Keeping it in play.
That hunger for the ball, you can see it. Each of those possessions taken by Stallion FC.
They have a little bit more grit, a little bit more determination. Pagdating sa tinatawag nating 50-50 challenges, doon nagkaka-advantage talaga si Stallion.
Yes, and you can really see it with the way they move. The movements are really good.
Tuloy wants to counteract with that response. They have it through midfield now, trying to lay it off to South. Well read by the number 42, Terrence Smith, who now has the ball on that left side. Macmillan opts to play it all the way back to Pride. Pride to Manor. Manor now shifting the play to the opposite side. Vasquez. Belgira straight to the hands of Antilo. He was waiting for that run from Manesh. Now Tuloy wants to keep playing this out. Good long pass. Could be a chance to run.
Only two blue shirts in the way of the defense.
They are really just trying to outrun them, but with the lack of stamina and speed that they have up front, having Ansiete as the tip of their spear might not be enough.
Lack of stamina equals the lack of options. They're really losing options into their offense. They're focusing heavily on defense and their backline and not really focused. I mean, at this point, they're just making sure that no goals come in.
Substitution for Stallion Laguna.
Looks like this is another opportunity for Stallion to flex the depth of their squad. Zook comes in for Smith. Samuel Brady Zook. Another forward there, just waiting to add his minutes. Good movement from Binalong. Still with Tuloy. Alike! And it rolls over and just on the wrong side of the bar. And that was another close opportunity there.
That was a really good attempt. However, the power in that shot, there you go. It's just too low and was predictable for the goalkeeper.
the turn and shoot, another difficult skill, because not only do you have to turn around not knowing who's behind you, but you also have to have a lot of vuelo when it comes to the kick, and that didn't quite happen for Halike.
I mean, there was an accuracy when it comes to the direction of the ball, but then it was just too predictable for the goalkeeper at that time.
Right now they have an opportunity to keep the ball up. A free kick opportunity for Stallion Laguna. And they opt to take it quickly here. Play on the right side. No options there, opts to go back. Awkward pass, but still recovered by Denzel Vasquez.
Still no pressure from the back end defense of Stallion FC. They're not being pressured at all and just playing with that ball.
Well, that was a dangerous cross coming from the introduction of Zook. But looks like they might have to deal with this counter-attack coming from Tuloy. Manor just manhandling his defender, or his Mark here, and recovering that ball. Stallion making easy work of this. Lifts it up, straight to Antilio it goes, and Antilio wants a quick attack here. Halike has the ball now. Puts the brakes on, trying to get away from Vasquez. Can't do it on his own. Halike again, but nobody on that flank to receive that ball. Ooh, and looks like Tuloy will have a double substitution.
Substitutions
Romy
for
Dayan
Tuloy
Dayan
FC. Player number 1,
and
Michael Jr.
Darbs
is
Tambilawan.
replaced by player number 51, Tambilawan. And player number 50, Gian Capistrano, is replaced by player number 28, Romy Dayan.
Michael Antilio Jr. has just been working too much, and he really needed that. He needed that substitution. He's even going outside of the box just so that he can catch the ball.
Well, right now, Darbs Tambilawan is one of those really quick reaction keepers. But at the same time, this has been one of the more difficult tasks for him. And so far, Stallion will prove to be a bigger challenge too. Here they go now. They want to start asking questions of the defense. Zook. Back to Vasquez.
Still no pressure at all as of the moment. They are able to play around with that ball, Stallion FC.
Yeah, they are just keeping themselves in that final attacking third, not really moving people forward. And this could be, that was a good opportunity there for Zook to have his introductory goal.
Almost there, but just a little bit off from the actual goal.
Let's have a look at it. That was a lovely pass, wasn't it?
Good pass, just the execution. That was a bit off. Might have been nervous from that, the form of that goalkeeping.
Wonder what would have happened if he tried it with his right foot instead of the left.
That would have been a better option, actually, just so that he could get more accuracy into that kick.
Here they go again. Stallion now keeping the passage moving. Sandra lays it off, and they find goal 12. And this time, finally, after trying a few times this evening, Amir Memari Manesh finds the back of the net.
You can see the difference of that attack. There were so many pink shirts in that they could make space for Amir.
Well, let's have a look at that again. There is Ricky Sandra. There is Amir. And the Tuloy defense has really been divided with the number of people they're marking inside the box. You're right.
Yeah, you really see it when there are so many options in front of you that the defenders are going to be struggling.
Well, back to live action we go, and there could be a quick opportunity here Ooh, and that was Diaz just sending the ball nowhere. Not very useful at this time.
Really rushing to get maybe just one more goal out of this.
And you can hear the crowd just giving love to Stallion Laguna.
That's not just giving love, that's giving too much love for Stallion Laguna. I love that spirit.
Well, Sandra here trying to impose his spirit with that long pass. Well read. Tuloy now getting a little bit spread, but hopefully not too thin. They are committing a little bit more players now. 3 versus 4. Alike lays it off. Saut couldn't find a way. Goes to Banalong. Goes back to Saut. Saut gets dispossessed. Zook.
That was a good touch.
Great touch. And now it's Amir again. Ganesh going for that high pass. And almost finding Mountney. Just sails over and just goes over the line. It will be a corner. And again, in the dying embers of this game, Stallion just can't seem to take their foot off the gas despite rotating a lot of their non-starters already.
Well, just going back to how much stamina this team, how much physicality this team has, they really are in the advantage when it comes to putting that floor on the gas.
Putting the gas pedal to the floor, and again, that was a great attempt on goal, but well read by the defense. They are trying to play it out, but they can't seem to get away from the pressure. Tuloy now has it back though. They just need to get it through, and they might have a chance. Stallion is still off position. They have to have a quick counterattack, and it has to be now. Oh, and that was a good defensive tackle. But the pressure is not over yet. Stallion has gotten their shape back, but so has Tuloy with their numbers. Diaz needs to shift the play to the other side. Alike. Not quite the pass we were looking for, and now a counter could ensue. And that was a good idea to try to get Amir Manish into a forward position, but the pass was just a tad too heavy. Foot race here.
It's just one blue shirt fighting 3 defenders at that time.
And right now that was still an unfortunate one for Jericho Anisiete. Stallion riding on this momentum again. Finds the open player on the flank. With some space, making a run for it, Pride. But straight into the hands of Darbs Tambilawan.
There was not enough power in that shot to actually scare off Tambilawan.
Well, right now they have a chance. Ansiete almost just getting to the ball ahead, but looks like Bojan already has it figured out.
You didn't see any pressure from Bujan clearing that.
It's like he was expecting it. Come at me, bro.
Just kicked it off like that.
Nice layoff. Still on the flanks. Stallion goes. Ricky Sendra shifts it to the middle. Good lofted pass here. But he was dispossessed, Zook.
There will be a minimum of 4 minutes.
And there will be 4 added minutes to this contest. Well, it kind of ended as a contest in the first half, so you could really tell that there is a lot of homework to be done. And we were all, when the game was starting, when I was doing some research about both of these teams and where they were, I was kind of hoping that there could be some hope in a closer game because the last time that they faced off, Tuloy only conceded 2 goals against Stallion, and Stallion has been struggling for form in the recent last 5 games.
Well, if you can see this, it's more of the positioning of the players of Tuloy FC. I'm not sure if this actually is a change on their end, but it's really noticeable how their midfield is more focused on defense versus the offense. And that's really what's setting them apart, because what you can see with Stallion FC, they're really balanced with this. So their midfield is always involved in both defense and offense, making it give more options for them to actually score.
Speaking of options to score, Sandra opts to go for the Blues player, but he was already offside. And the referee and the linesman agrees with us. Now, Stallion has cemented themselves in 6th place right now with this performance that they have. They are still trailing against Aguilas, who is just a point ahead of them, given the situation ends like this. And it's already been beyond the shadow of a doubt already. So far, it's the consistency in their form that's really lacking. Tuloy could be a good springboard to jump on, but at the same time, it has been quite an expectation for Stallion to just get this game over with. It goes. Free kick taken. The far pass to the left side for Tuloy. Well read.
As you were stating earlier about the difference in goal previously with Stallions and Tuloy FC, I was also looking into, I was actually expecting some more of a challenge from Tuloy FC versus Stallions, but this is really, I would say, big punishment. Maybe this is going to be a learning lesson for the team to commit more to the fitness of their team members and more of the positioning that they have. Something that they should really look into for the next games that they're going to play.
I have no doubt that the signature flavor of Tuloy to just keep nice, crisp, short passes as a philosophy is good. But at the same time, that also means that a lot of players would have a lot of running to do in getting those good positions themselves. So fitness really is one of the key things that they could work on right now. But like what you said, they have to be a bit braver when it comes to putting people forward, because Stallion is just walking over them through those spaces. Hopeful shot, sails over, and not really anything that would give Benoit Beaujean something to worry about. We are just in the last few seconds of stoppage here. Referee may already have the whistle to his mouth and is just waiting for the action to end. Stallion wants to keep going to the end. Good movement. Amir Manesh, Zouk to the left. Goes to the right side instead. Sandra from the outside takes it. Lays off a pass, intercepted. But again, the referee has had enough. John Pineda has blown his whistle and has put this game to a close. And it has been for a while already that the result is, without a shadow of a doubt, going Stallion's way.
Definitely.
But so far, there is a lot of takeaways here for Tuloy and for Stallion as well in getting their games and getting their forms corrected moving forward. What's your final remarks? What's your final thoughts on this game?
I would say for Stallion FC, they actually stuck to the same strategy that they had, making it, or I understand that they see this as a very effective strategy against Tuloy FC. This is good. It's just really balanced positioning from them, and all that physicality, really good. With the Tuloy FC, a learning lesson probably is to just focus more on physicality because they're losing the runs. Their midfield is really left behind on defense every time that they try to attack, lessening their opportunities to score.
Well, with this result already put to bed, Stallion has cemented their place in 6th place, and they are still in the hunt for the playoff stage. Again, this is Glenn Casas who has brought you the action. Right next to me is my brother and his debut, Eric Casas. This has been the Philippines Football League. We are PFL.
Congratulations on the result. What are your thoughts on the game?
What I think about the game?
Yeah.
The game was good, not more difficult, but it's okay.
So for the next question, how do you plan to move forward given the result?
For this question, I have nothing to say. Just I'm focused for the next game.
So for the last question, do you have any message for your fans?
Thank you for my fans to support me every day. Just that.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.